I'm going to be honest. I was also a little iffy. Like, it was great to see Cody Bellinger back to who he has been, but it was also a concern because, all right, cool, you were able to show us that you can do this again, but can we trust you moving forward? Can you do it for another 3 years, another 5 years, maybe 7? You know, in this case, he got a 3-year deal from the Cubs. So I'm sure the Cubs in this case are looking for him to do this for the next 3 seasons.
Now, here's the thing. He got a 3-year deal from the Cubs, but let's be very clear about something here, and I want to point this out. There is 2 opt-outs in this deal. There's an opt-out after year 1 and an opt-out after year 2, right? So he can test the free agent market again the very next year at the age of 29 years old. If he puts together 2 back-to-back seasons in which he did the same thing which he did now, over 300 batting average, almost 30 home runs, 90 RBIs, and plays a above average defensive center field and first base, I got news for you, bro. I think if he hits the market again next year, I think the Yankees come calling and he gets the lucrative deal he's been looking for. The only reason why the Yankees didn't do this, because the Yankees love him. We know that because they tried trading for him at the deadline last year, was because Rizzo's hit. Now, here's another thing we need to point out, right? Does Steve Cohen realize I want to spend some money? Pete Alonso is no longer with the Mets. We got something we got to figure out. So is there a way where a guy like Steve Cohen now enters the mix? If the Orioles are good, do the Orioles enter the mix, start spending money to get those young players, some veterans on the team, right? Because there's only a select handful of teams that I think can really use a guy like Cody Bellinger. And the thing that I was kind of shocked at, right? And I don't know if you feel like this. I thought the Toronto Blue Jays were going to make a real significant effort to sign him, especially after missing out on Ohtani. Because all offseason, all we heard is the Blue Jays are looking for another left-handed bat. They're looking for a left-handed bat. They still haven't found their left-handed bat. And all along, I'm like, he's sitting right there. The left-handed bat you're looking for is sitting right there. And another thing is you can move Kevin Kiermaier to a corner outfield spot, preserve his body so he's not playing center field every day on turf, and you have one of the premier defensive outfields in the game when George Springer is healthy, Kevin Kiermaier can go get the ball, and then you have a rangy center fielder. So in my head, I'm like, if you're the Toronto Blue Jays and you're about to give $700 million to Shohei, why didn't you dole out $150 million for Cody Bellinger?
Yeah, I agree. They messed up.
You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, we don't know if Bellinger would have taken that deal. That's the one thing that we have questions about. Does he take the deal? But now that you look back on it, you realize, yo, you essentially might have just gotten a 1-year, $30 million deal. Like, that might be it. And then you got to go out again and try to reestablish your value, right?
I love the way the contract is structured for both sides, right?
For the Cubs more than him, though.
But here's the reason. Let me say the Bellinger point only in this case, because I like how it's structured. Yes, for both teams. I'll allow you to get into why it's good for the Cubs, Stefan, after. But I want to say this point in favor of Bellinger, because I'm sure Bellinger is looking for more than the $80 million that he just received from the Cubs, right or wrong, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Now with the opt-out included, or the opt-outs rather, because it's 2, I believe, right? Yeah, 2 opt-outs in each of the first 2 seasons. Yeah. Now here's the thing: all it really takes is for him to repeat what he did last season, just one more time. You do that one more time within the next 2 seasons.
No, you got.
I guarantee you that $80 million doubles to 160.
You got a bag waiting
easily.
On you.
Now, here's going back to my point a few minutes ago about it being iffy because of what he has done in between having great seasons. But if it is something that he is able to repeat, I'm out after next season. If I'm Cody Bellinger, I'm out. Like, thank you, Chicago, for giving me the opportunity to be back on the map. But I'm out, and I'm going to get my bread elsewhere.